And what's up, lovers and friends? Technicals here. It's time to check in on the 3D print operation. What do we got going on this morning? Doing some wall art experiments. I put the giant coffee cup up on Etsy yesterday. Take a look at that in a second. Some crypto mining experiments. This one's heating up right now and nothing over there. So let's check on everything else. A P1P, going great. No errors. I didn't even have to swap out the hot end. I just did a calibration, which just does like the basic stuff, leveling, vibration compensation, and it's running great. And so we've got a slightly smaller version of the Succubus Girl printing here. So hopefully I can throw one of those up on Etsy. I don't know if anyone's gonna buy it, but I like it. And again, like still kind of figuring out the AMSs, like the order of the filaments and assigning it, because I don't want to repaint models like that because I had to hand paint it. And it wastes so much. The flushing is just, it's so severe. I mean, like this is the one from the girl, and that's not counting everything else that it flushes out, but still, I mean, just, you know, it's not super detailed, but I don't know. I'm a big fan. I was mentioning some more wall art experiments, and if you're into pew-pews, you could probably tell several things wrong with this picture right now, because that's not how a Glock 17 is supposed to look. First of all, I printed the slide. I'm trying to print it as big as I can, so I cut it into 4 pieces. I could probably go even a little bigger because I was basing the sizing off of this section of the lower, and this is at 250%, but I printed the slide first at 300% because, I mean, the slide is not supposed to extend over. It's, you know, a Glock is, you know, tight like that. So I'm reprinting the slide at 250. And then also, I guess when I was doing the design, I was cutting it off here and then had a copy that I slid in to cut off here. And that's the way I could have like a nice, like a perfect separation, because I didn't want to do it in the slicer because I wanted to save the files through Tinkercad, which is what I use. And I guess I had an inverted section of this top section of here that was just sitting on there when I combined it. So I was like, I'm looking at this because the trigger guard matches up. And I'm like, what is this? Why is this here? And wait, why is this here? This looks like the top back of the slide. And so I like put it down and I'm like, okay. So I'm an idiot. Anyway, gonna correct that. Just sort of an experiment because a lot of people like pew-pews. I like pew-pews. And I thought maybe it could be some nice wall art for somebody. Unfortunately, I think I will have to paint this one unless I can get like a dark hunter green filament to just straight up print the lower and then print the top in black. Because again, with all my prints, I really try to design and make stuff with the smallest amount of post-processing possible. So I want to be able to take things off the printer, put them in a box and ship it. That's the name of the game with me. I'm not an artist. This is not a labor of love. This is a labor of profit. Also, the GPU mining stand, I will put this up today. I wanted to print one final copy because I have over here my 7950X 3D on the stand, working out pretty good. It's all up and running, survives. So made a few final tweaks, but overall works out pretty well. Final point for today is something that I had mentioned yesterday's video, the #1 reason to buy a 3D printer, so you can just like make stuff on the fly, whatever you need. So I do this crypto mining thing, and this one is a K7. It mines not Bitcoin, another type of cryptocurrency, but it kept going down for some reason, and I think it has to do with the fans because I keep getting a fan error. And so these things are loud, and so commonly what people will do is if they want to quiet it down and they want to spend the money, they'll buy one of these. This is a fan. Typically people use these in like when they're growing weed, but you can fit them to the miner to replace the stock fans because the stock fans are really loud. These aren't nearly as loud. They blow a ton of air, but you got to take the fans off and you have to have an adapter that fits onto it. So this company makes these. I got this one with another miner that I bought, but this is obviously 3D printed, professionally done, professionally designed by a professional company and not some schmo like me. but these adapt this fan onto those miners. They are expensive though. These are like $100 just for the shroud and up, and it depends on the miner. So I thought, hey, why don't I just print my own? Because I've got one of these fans. This doesn't fit the miner that I want to use. So I just sat there, measured this dealie, and then made my own. So it's obviously a little bit shorter, and the base of it is off of a silencer project that I was using for ASIC. So I just repurposed the silencer project, put an 8-inch adapter on there, put teeth on it, put a little stand on the bottom. And so you can kind of compare apples to kumquats here. I mean, it fits. I've already test fit it. You can see. It is a little bit long here. So I shaved off about 2 millimeters off the height, and I'm printing the final one now. Another cool thing too is this doesn't have to be made in PETG because it's on the cool side. Thick PLA would work just fine because it's between the fan and the ASIC. It doesn't endure any significant heat because like the silencers that I have on the ASICs now, those are all in PLA on the hot side and thin, low infill, and they've never melted. So see, should work out just fine. I'll probably put these on my Etsy store too. I mean, it's just, I made it from the ground up. I just looked at their design, and I figure like a lot of my designs, I worry I'm like copying other people, but I'm not like copying the file. I'm just making an alternate version. I'm making Pepsi. They got Coke. You can have your Coke, and you can charge your Coca. Well, it's the same price, but $100 for this. I mean, this is a quality product, but if I can get the same thing done, and other people want to save money and accomplish the same thing with this for $20, $25, then, you know, all the better for me. That take probably pisses off artist people. Like, you shouldn't be copying those people. I'm not really copying anyone's work, but I am inspired heavily by it. But I'm not an artist person. I'm not a creative. I don't place myself in that camp at all. I am of the business capitalist realm, robber baron realm. I want money. Anyway, that's what's going on in the 3D print space today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Love it, hate it, intermediate, doesn't matter. Leave a comment, leave me some engagement. If you like the video, press like because it's the nice thing to do, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I'm The Technicals. See you next time.